After months of uncertainty, prep basketball returns to the hardwood. Tonight, the debut of the WestgateCars.com High School Hoops, presented by West Shore Home. We're in the city of Oaks, Raleigh, North Carolina, for a Cap 7 matchup between the Sanderson Spartans and the host Broughton Capitals. Patrick Keenis alongside Jay Sohnhalter, and a year unlike any other begins tonight with the Capitals and the Spartans. And Jay, let's get right to a couple of the key players we'll be fixing our eyes on tonight.
Well, Sanderson has one of the best shooters in the state, Evan Abelins. He's averaging 25 points per game. He's got a really quick release, does a nice job of moving without the basketball. He's going to have to do that tonight. His team needs him scoring the basketball. He's like an extension of the coaching staff out on the floor. He's got a 4.4 GPA, an outstanding senior. And for Broughton, they've got a young player already receiving recruiting interest. Will Otto, the point guard, number 14, 6'2". He had 17 points against Cardinal Gibbons in a big victory on Wednesday night. He really does a nice job, Patrick, of setting the tempo and pushing the pace on the offensive end of the court.
All right, now let's talk from a team perspective. The keys, Jay, what are they tonight?
Well, for Sanderson, they've got so many good shooters. They're going to play 4 out, 1 guy inside. They will have to make that extra pass to get their outside shooters going. The on-the-ball defense, they really want to stress the defense tonight. Now for Broughton, they need to stay in all these shooters in their man-to-man defense, and then they want to push the tempo, push the pace, and try to get easy opportunities in transition.
All right, inside this legendary Broughton Gymnasium, history is deep. Legendary careers began here. Pistol Pete Maravich, Shavlik Randolph, and many others. Broughton, typically one of the gold standards of the Cap 7, off of a 2-22 year, while Sanderson enters off of its first winning season in a decade. Tip-off, Sanderson, Broughton, next.
We at Haywood Funeral Home want you to know that during these uncertain times, as we experience the coronavirus pandemic, our operations regarding funerals have changed as we comply with changing industry guidelines. We will continue to offer compassionate and professional service to all. As always, we remain devoted as a pillar of support and comfort for the community. Haywood Funeral Home, our family serving yours for generations.
25 words or less. Weeknights at 11 on MyRDC.
You're working hard to keep your business moving forward. With Compulse Integrated Marketing, you can reach new customers and get results. We work with businesses across America, but we have experts right here. There are new ways to reach your customers with video, digital, and social advertising, and we're experts at all of them. Our solutions are affordable and they work. Compulse Integrated Marketing. Reach new customers and get results. Contact us right now. Let's partner together and keep your business moving forward.
On the inside, a Honda SUV is sophisticated, technologically advanced, and comfortable. But on the outside, a Honda SUV is rugged, capable, and ready to take on anything. With an intelligent traction management and 3 all-terrain driving modes at the push of a button, the competition doesn't have that. Inside, outside. For the first time ever, get our best 0% financing on every new Honda SUV, like 0% financing on the Passport or Pilot. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
Biggest comedy stars.
Marijuana may help you what? Eat all the cupcakes.
Wall-to-wall laughs.
You can major in wine.
I'm homeschooled.
Funny you should ask. Weeknights at 10 and 10:30 on MyRDC 28.
The Capitals and Spartans matchup. Broughton is in the home grays and Sanderson in the traveling reds. And we'll get to our starting lineup here in just a moment. Broughton comes in at 1-3, 1-2 in conference play. And there's the early take by Evan Abelins, the 6'1" senior with a tremendous basketball IQ. Sanderson off to a 2-0 lead. 1-2 are the Spartans, and they're 1-1 inside the Cap 7, their conference win over Cardinal Gibbons. A travel whistle against Will Otto and the Broughton Capitals. So glad to have you with us here tonight for Broughton, their star Will Otto, a 6'2 sophomore. Smedes York in the middle at 6'7. Garrett Beziak, Jackson McNamara, and McCallum Wright, the transfer from Ravenscroft. And we'll get to the Sanderson starting five here momentarily. They will be led by Evan Ablins. Matt Hanna, an excellent shooters. Ablins lost the handle. A steal by McNamara and Broughton. And they do like to run. And they love shooting out of the corner. Stepping in is Beziak. And he misfires on his first attempt of the night. Rebounded by Victor Kanama. Nolan Ford and Kaywan Fletcher round up the starting five for the Spartans.
Well, and for Sanderson, Patrick, they really excel in the half-court offense. And I think on the other side for Broughton, we're going to see a lot of fast break opportunities where they try to push the ball up the court.
Tough take, reverse layup was missed by Fletcher. And here come the Broughton Capitals as we open up our high school hopes. We won't see really any fans outside of a couple of parents from some of these players, the cheerleaders here. But outside of that, and our camera crew, that is about it. As the Capitals play their fifth game of this season, the Spartans playing their fourth. And a look there at Brian Schaefer in his young head coaching career with the Spartans. And one of their goals this year, assuming we do get to a postseason here in the NCHSAA, is getting the first playoff win in 15 years for the Spartans. He has a lot of experience. And this is kind of one of those games for Sanderson where when you take on Broughton, they had been kind of one of the cornerstones of this Cap 7 for years. Certainly a down year last year, Jay. But if you can grab a win or two over the course of this season against Broughton, that will signal you're on the uprise.
Well, and with this league, Patrick, there's so much good competition. It's a very deep league, and especially for Sanderson being on the road, this is an opportunity after the game Wednesday night against Gilbert where they're trying to get a comeback win here, come off after that performance.
This is Kanama. The first four belong to the Spartans. Victor Kanama, 6'5 senior. A bit of a sluggish start for the Broughton Capitals. They play it through the post. Turn around. This is York. Tip won't go, and the rebound batted off the glass and covered up by Nolan Ford. Now Sanderson, when the year began, their first game was canceled due to a COVID-related issue at the opposing school. Their second game was postponed because of the prospect of some snow in the area. They'll be able to walk on the inside against the Sanderson Spartans. So it's been a bit of a ragged start for all of these teams. You know, both of these schools, as we get a look at the second-year head man, Clarence Coleman, hired in May of 2019. In terms of, I mean, everything has changed, Jay, from game planning to travel to virtual classes for each of these two schools, how practices are structured, the contact with these players. And we even saw tonight's game open up without a jump ball, just a throw-in out of the sidelines as Will Otto knocks down a three for Broughton.
And that for Otto, that's where his strength is outside shooting. But you look at this season, Patrick, you're right, everything's different for these players coming out here. I think it's going to take a while, whether it's this game or to continue on throughout the season, to really get into a rhythm and a flow. And I think for them, you know, everything they've been through, there's just so much excitement to be out here and be playing.
Well, 3 field goals by Sanderson across 3 different players. There's the first bucket for Kaywan Fletcher with a 6-3 Spartan lead. Otto finding room on the baseline, backs himself into the corner, and he is fouled on the three-point attempt out of the corner, and will shoot 3 free throws. The foul charge against Kanama.
We'll see here. Brown, Otto, he loves that corner shot, and too much contact going into the body is going to send it to the line.
Oh, he's one of the most dangerous guys in this conference. Will Otto. So Otto at the free throw line, the U.S. Coast Guard free throw. Brought to you by the U.S. Coast Guard. Go coastguard.com. 4:11 left in the opening quarter. Broughton began its season a couple of weeks ago. 3 straight losses. Apex, Southeast Raleigh, Leesville Road. And a road win over Cardinal Gibbons just a couple of days ago. And certainly the challenge for Clarence Coleman is turning around a really proud historical program within the Cap 7. 1-11 in league play last year, 2-22 overall. But the adjustments were big for the program as Coleman last year was in his first season in terms of style, strategy, approach, running different schemes, and getting all the players to buy in. saved, kept alive, and the Spartans have a beautiful feed. And on the cut, the bucket to Manahana. Abilene kept it alive, and an excellent feed on that cut.
Well, a really good job by Sanderson, getting those scrap plays, Patrick. And there, Hannah, known for his outside shooting again, another great perimeter player going in for two.
Nolan Ford clears the miss. And this is what Sanderson likes to do, a little shovel pass on the inside, and Kanama gets hit, and he'll head to the free throw line. Foul charge against Beziak, that is his first. 8-5 lead for Sanderson, and we are underway. WestgateCars.com High School Hoops, presented by West Shore Home. Sanderson on the road, up by 3.
When you see a young person grow and a young person change, that you mold in the best way that you can, giving them the values, the morals, the ideals that you think will put them in the best position to succeed as a person, that's mentoring, that's teaching, and that's love. Big brothers, big sisters exist because there are children in need of that special one-on-one time, and you can fill that space. An hour a week is all it takes to have an impact on a child's life.
Get ready for a brand new season of Triangle High School basketball. High School Hoops is back on My RDC. Live, full game coverage every week, all the way to the championships. Every shot, every dunk, every buzzer beater from some of the best games on the schedule. This week, we've got a Cap 7 rivalry as Sanderson takes on Broughton. WestgateCars.com High School Hoops, presented by West Shore Home. Friday at 7 on My RDC.
Patrick Swayze.
Dirty Dancing.
I'm going to set the opening bid. Party. Confetti.
Store Bullseye.
Target. This is a show where every word counts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wild Dog.
Wolf.
Weeknights at 11 on My RDC 28.
Back to Broughton High School, 8-5 lead for Sanderson. 3:28 left in this opening quarter. And a couple of free throws coming up for Victor Kanama of the Sanderson Spartans. Patrick Keenis, Jay Solenhalter on this beautiful Friday night in late January. And the first free throw missed by Kanama. And so far for the Sanderson Spartans, this is what Brian Schaefer was hoping to see. Get off to a quick start, defend the three-point line, and rebound the basketball, which they've done very well so far as Kanama makes 1 of 2. Well, let's get to tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Westgate Kia of Wake Forest. It's the Otto, McNamara, Wright, Beziak, and York. Those are the starting lineups for Broughton. WestgateCars.com. We will make you a believer for life. Jumper missed. Another rebound cleared away by Nolan Ford. And there's the starting 5 for the Spartans, including Kwan Fletcher. And Ford shuffled the feet outside. So the starters brought to you by Westgate Kia of Wake Forest. WestgateCars.com. We will make you a believer for life. 9-5 the lead for Sanderson. About 5 minutes gone by in the opening quarter.
And Coach Coleman right there, Patrick, trying to change the culture here at Broughton, coming in last year with that tough year, and this year with a lot of hopes and potential with some of his young players mixed in with the veterans. I think tonight, too, they need to get the ball inside. Sneaks York down low, 6'7". He's going to have an opportunity to do some damage in the game.
Foul called. Abilene will head right back to the free throw line for Sanderson. We talked about all of the intangibles that he brings to the floor for this Spartan team. There's good balance on this Sanderson squad. We'll take a look on the attack. And it got Beziak in the air.
Well, it's going to be so important for Abilene to drive in and attack the rim. We know he's a great outside shooter, but when he can really stretch that defense and put pressure on them, that's going to force the closeout defenders to respect the outside shot.
So even a couple of Spartans out there, on the floor wearing masks as we get underway in this first quarter. Little slip right there by Jason Fenema. Called for the walk. Turns over to Broughton.
Again, both sides trying to get into the flow of this game. Too many turnovers. These guys just trying to get into a rhythm. I think as this game continues on, we'll see some of these turnovers cleaned up.
So 9-5 lead for Sanderson. A reminder, and get free delivery on all your favorite meals through Wegmans Meals to Go for a limited time. 4-point deficit facing Broughton. Beziak delivers to the baseline, and Hicks misses that jumper off the baseline. And here comes Fletcher and the Spartans. Benno trying to feed that through some traffic down low, turns it over. And on the move, Beziak. And that was deflected out of bounds by Adams.
Well, we continue to see Broughton try to push the pace. Feel like they have numbers. Good job jumping in the passing lane to knock it out of bounds by Sanderson.
You know, Jay, one of the issues that each of these coaches and really all these players are still going through, had the season begun in a normal pre-pandemic or post-pandemic year, we would be in about the middle of November right now. So they've had to jam in a lot of basketball, and frankly, you know, the coaches have not had a great deal of time with their players. So you are almost trying to recover for some lost time. It's the middle of January, but it's a condensed season. The players are only several weeks away.
Well, and you build chemistry in the offseason, in preseason camp. When you're practicing the early part of the season, you kind of get, you know, that bond together. And these teams didn't have that this year. It's kind of put together right now, and then you got to go from 0 to 100. I think both of these teams are going to see a lot of improvement as we get into February.
On the drive, Fenema fouls. Take a look again. A lot of ball penetration into the lane and near the rim. And the help defense came over a little bit late. Now, you know, talking with Brian Schaefer, we spoke with the head coach for Sanderson earlier today, as we had a couple of free throws on the way here for Fenema, brought to you by the U.S. Coast Guard. Go coastguard.com. You know, he told us, you know, with the team he had last year, they lost a great deal of talent. But the team was very close last year, and it's still very experienced coming back this season. And he doesn't feel like the cohesion is an issue with his squad. But we talked about a couple of games that were canceled due to COVID and the prospect of snow. They also had to shut down their program for a couple of weeks during the Christmas holidays because of a coronavirus-related issue. And instead of getting, you know, practice time over the Christmas holiday, the program was basically quiet, and guys, all the players were in their driveways shooting outside to try and stay in basketball shape.
Right, and I can't imagine that not having practice, because that's where you kind of work everything out and, you know, again, get into that rhythm as a team. And, you know, for Sanderson over the Christmas break, not being able to practice as a team, that's a huge loss. They just kind of had to go into the new year here and start playing games.
Inside the final minute of this opening quarter, Sanderson on the road up by 1. That pass was unexpected from Fenema. Right through the hands behind Abilene. And Broughton will get it back with a chance to grab the lead.
Well, and for Broughton, Garrett Biziak's had a couple nice drives into the paint, a nice layup there, but he's doing a good job penetrating and breaking down the defense of Sanderson.
And there's a look at Ethan Abilene, younger brother of one of the stars on this Sanderson team, Evan. See how Broughton plays this final 40 seconds. The take by Malcolm Wright, knifing past a couple of defenders and gives the lead to Broughton.
Well, Wright really, that sweep fake towards the right, faked out the defender, then went back strong towards the left baseline.
An extra possession now for Broughton. And is this over the baseline? No, it was deflected out by Broughton after they thought they had boxed out for the rebound. So Sanderson will get it back with about 26 seconds left in this opening quarter. And we'll take a look at a replay, and it looked like it may have gone off the right leg of Ethan Abilene's.
Sanderson, yeah, I think the call is going to be switched.
Yeah, they have overturned the call.
Switched here, yeah. Does a good job, though, getting together, making sure the call was right, because that obviously went off the leg of Abilene.
So Broughton basketball. Hayes Carlin runs the show. Wright, the transfer in from Ravenscroft. Jumper from the foul line missed by Jack McConnell. And still time here for the Spartans. Final 7 seconds. Good job running that passing lane by Carlin to knock it out of bounds. So 5 seconds left for Sanderson, down by 1 as we wind down this opening quarter.
You know, both teams doing a nice job boxing out. There's not any second chance opportunities. Offensive rebounds have been limited.
Contested 3, Abilene off the heel, and that is the end of the opening quarter in Raleigh. Back and forth, balanced opening quarter for Sanderson, and a 1-point lead for the Broughton Capitals. After 1, it's 11-10.
Losing him is the hardest thing I've ever been through. But Stephen L. Lyons Funeral Home is doing so much for my family, I can't begin to put it into words. And because we pre-planned with Steve last year, we ensured that all of his wishes are being met. I don't have to worry about anything. My family can relax at this difficult time and celebrate his life.
Won't you give us a call today? We would be honored to provide you the trust, service, and compassion you rightfully deserve in your time of need. That is our promise here at the Stephen L. Lyons Funeral Home.
You're working hard to keep your business moving forward. With Compulse Integrated Marketing, you can reach new customers and get results. We work with businesses across America, but we have experts right here. There are new ways to reach your customers with video, digital, and social advertising, and we're experts in all of them. Our solutions are affordable and they work. Compulse Integrated Marketing. Reach new customers and get results. Contact us right now. Let's partner together and keep your business moving forward.
On the inside, a Honda SUV is versatile, technologically advanced, and comfortable. But on the outside, Honda is a capable all-wheel drive vehicle ready for any adventure. Plus, Honda sensing safety features like road departure mitigation. Subaru Crosstrek doesn't have that. Inside, outside. For the first time ever, take advantage of our best ever APR with 0% financing on every new Honda SUV. Like 0% financing on the new CR-V, which costs less than the RAV4. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
Second quarter ready to begin. 11-10, Broughton up by 1 on Sanderson. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter with you tonight. And the Sanderson Spartans sitting 1-1 in conference, so win over Cardinal Gibbons. 20-point loss to Millbrook about a week ago. And so far, as we expected, pretty balanced affair by a couple of teams kind of targeting that 3-4 spot in league play. Leesville and Millbrook are, preseason at least, the two teams expected to do the most damage here in the Cap 7.
Well, we thought this was going to be a close game. Both of these teams are still trying to find a position, but there's some talent on these rosters. This is an important game for both sides, especially with Broughton coming off for that win on Wednesday night against Gibbons, an opportunity to win 2 in a row.
And Hannah lost the handle, had it knocked out of bounds. And a 5'9" senior who could extend the defense for the Sanderson Spartans. And especially, Jay, with the truncated season, as Avalon's to take. Hicks got a lot of ball in that block attempt, but got with the lower body. You don't have your 8 or 9 non-conference games before you get into Cap 7 play. So every game this year takes on so much more significance.
And the games are limited. So it's so important. These conference games came quick early on here in the schedule. And here's Avalon's again. And he's had a nice kind of feel tonight of driving into the paint and getting into the line.
Avalon's at the free throw line. These free throws presented by Anchor Auto Outlets. One more coming for Avalon to try and tie up the game, and he does. 11-11 early stages, second quarter. Both of these teams don't go terribly deep. There have been a couple of injury issues impacting Sanderson over the last week and a half, losing starters Jay Crutchfield and Josh Cruz, each with ankle injuries. Both expected to be back maybe the next week or 2. But by the time they return, the season's about halfway over. The ball fake. And Manning Lasso misses off the baseline. Here comes Sanderson on the move. Avalon's the recipient. And the lead returns to Sanderson.
Broughton not able to get back in transition defense. They're crashing the boards. That was a good look on the outside. Broughton just hasn't been efficient from the field shooting the ball.
A 13-11 lead for Sanderson. This is Otto. Draws a lot of attention. Switching hands and dropping that one in. Edge of the lane with the left hand.
It's so tough. When you're going towards your right, you're feeling the defender there, and then to shoot the ball with your left. Usually you don't have range from layup range, but there from the free throw line is able to connect.
They carry the basketball, charge against Lamar Lyons, the junior for Sanderson. Well, when we talked with Clarence Coleman earlier today about Will Otto, one of the things that certainly has Brian Schaefer concerned is Otto's ability to score and create. But he feels like he is a next level type player, just a sophomore, but a really bright future as far as his game goes. Stan 6'2", is going to get bigger. He'll get a couple of inches taller. And as he does that, he'll certainly attract a lot more attention. This is Otto, number 14. A near carry by McNamara into traffic, and McNamara gives Broughton a 2-point lead.
McNamara, really gritty defender for Broughton. there, going into the paint. Nice shot for two.
Otto clears up the air ball. Now Broughton looks to run. McNamara with some bumping action. And that's going to be offensive interference of the rim as Malcolm Wright got up there and hung on the rim before that ball was spinning around and came out.
Well, and you have to be careful there. And that was good hustle and good aggressiveness. That's a good call here with, you see here, the ball rolling around. You got to lay off the rim in that situation.
And that was definitely coming out. It's back to Sanderson down by 2. Deflected pass loose, picked up on the run. McCallum Wright got around one, and he'll head to the free throw line as he kind of wheeled his way around Lamar Lyons to try to slow him down.
Well, and that's what Broughton really in this ball game throughout the season. This is what they want to do: create turnovers and try to win in transition. That was a good foul, really, because that was going to be an easy 2 if the foul wasn't called there, and now you send him to the line.
So McCallum Wright to the free throw line. Misses the first of 2. The Anchor Auto Outlet free throw line. 15-13 in favor of Broughton. And Wright, a very good basketball player here for the Capitals, but according to Clarence Coleman, he is a major Division I football prospect here for the Broughton Capitals. Free safety, wide receiver. McCallum Wright, he's only a sophomore, so a couple more years of eligibility here at Broughton before he has to declare where he's going for college. Broughton by 3, and a tie-up on the inside.
I think it's so important. You see so many of these players playing multiple sports. I think it's important for these guys. You know, they learn so many different movement skills. Playing football, you learn that toughness and how to position your body, and that translates over to basketball. And you know, so many of these guys are such good players and really dominant in other sports at their school.
Nolan Ford in for Levi Matthews. Alternating possession keeps it with the Spartans. This is Abilens. Pass a little bit behind Ford. Could not collect it. And the turnover to Broughton. And here's Otto again attacking about 3/5 of the defense. Misses a floater. And it's out of bounds. And it will stay with Broughton.
And Abilens was trying to set up the pick and roll. And York was able to knock the ball loose. And again, Broughton trying to push and get numbers out on offense.
And there's the native of Cato, New York. 45 minutes west of Syracuse. Good baseline out of bounds play, and easy bank in from Beziak. Broughton extends now to its biggest lead of the game.
And McNamara with the look there. Good setup, good play call with the pick creating the separation.
18-13, Capitals by 5. Little backdoor play. Abilens the reload and does get the friendly bounce. They wanted a foul on the backside of that as well.
Yeah, and there was contact there towards the rim. The back cut really set the defender going forward, and then backdoor on him, create the separation.
And that's one of the areas that the Spartans really felt like they could exploit the Capitals, because the Capitals extend their defense, they overplay a little bit, and they felt like they had the back door was going to be open for them a few times tonight. Exploited well there. Otto hesitates, misses the shot, and there again for another tough defensive rebound, Nolan Ford. Been on this varsity team since he was a freshman. They reverse. Abilens out of the corner, short with a 3. Otto making sure his sneaker was off of that baseline, collects the rebound.
Again, defensive rebounding, both sides, not allowing any offensive boards. One shot and done.
Tip try won't go from Wright. And Ford another rebound. 18-15 Broughton. Basketball poked away from behind. And it will stay with Sanderson as we reach a timeout here in Raleigh. 3-point lead for Broughton. 18-15. 3:40 left in the first half.
A priest adored by millions. A religious foundation wants to make him a saint. So why is someone killing?
One fake miracle, 2 real deaths.
To keep it from happening. Extraordinary.
Law and Order, Criminal Intent. Tonight at 8 on My RDC. My Raleigh, My Durham, My Chapel Hill.
The Law loss of a loved one can be overwhelming. Knowing your family will be prepared for the next steps can be comforting. When you pre-plan your services with Haywood Funeral Home, you have the peace of mind of knowing that all the arrangements will be met ahead of time and to your satisfaction. Pre-planning lets your wishes be known and lets your family relax and celebrate the life of their loved one. Contact us for a pre-planned consultation. Haywood Funeral Home, our family serving yours for generations.
Where every word counts.
Wild dog.
Weeknights at 11 on MyRDC 28.
In the People's Court, Judge Miljan rules.
This is the black dress. I'm the judge, and we're in the middle of a trial.
The People's Court.
Weekdays on MyRDC.
A 3-point lead. Broughton on top of Sanderson, 18-15. Clarence Coleman now in his second year as head coach for the Capitals, and a great history and a really well-respected basketball man here in the area. Coach T.J. Warren and Isaiah Hicks, among many others in AAU plays. He represented the Garner squad over there for a few years. Gave that up, though, when he got the head job here at Broughton. Focusing now his full attention on returning the Capitals to prominence. On the inside, wheeling Fording with a nice little bit of spin in English. Owen Ford with the bucket to draw Sanderson within one.
Well, Ford does a nice job setting up down on the block. And pretty nimble feet, good touch there, finishing for two.
He's defending it here and reaches in to finish. Nicely done by Elijah Hicks of the Capitals. Once he was able to kind of fake inside spin baseline, he got around Ford and got some contact as well on the finish.
Well, here's the quickness of Hicks. The ball fake and then just the footwork, creating a little bit of room to get off the shot underneath the hoop.
This is the free throw, rebounded by Sanderson. A reminder, tonight's halftime report will be brought to you by Wegmans To Go. Get free delivery on all your favorite meals to go for a limited time. Inside 3 minutes left, opening half. Otto and the Capitals up by 3. And this is Elijah Hicks and a couple of back-to-back field goals from the 6'3" senior Hicks.
That was part of the game plan. Drive and kick, and was Otto there driving down, getting the extra defender to come over. That's what allowed the open shot for Hicks.
Hicks' real portfolio to this Capital team is crashing the offensive glass. Any offense you get from him is a bonus, and he picks up a steal at the free throw line here. And Broughton can shoot for his biggest lead of the game. Otto on the pull-up. Remains a 5-point contest.
And again, backside box out. Sanderson not allowing the Capital over for the offensive board.
Fletcher wildly out of control, lost the handle, lost his balance, and turns it over to Broughton.
2 minutes, about 10 seconds left here, and an opportunity for Broughton with a 5-point lead. Get a little bit of momentum, Patrick, going into the half if they can win here the next few possessions.
Three-pointer right on line, a miss by Wright. On the drive, another scoop attempt. This one is missed by Adelings. Rebounded by Hicks. Inside 2 minutes for the first half. 22-17. Broughton leads Sanderson by 5. Biziak, with the heart and soul of this squad, gives up to Carlin. And rims in and out of 3. Rebounded by Ford. And Sanderson out. We've seen them like their run in this first half. It's slowing it down. That's one of the things that Brian Schaefer was very pleased that TV was covering this game, because that means more timeouts. And with this team dealing with a couple of injured players, not as deep as they normally are, he said, we'll welcome those extra TV timeouts tonight. Adelins can't connect on a 3. And a rebound. A lot of one-and-dones on both sides.
Well, and he felt like the strength of his team was the half-court offense getting in their sets, and they haven't had a lot of opportunity with their limited practice time, so it was interesting to see how his team really set up plays here tonight.
Threading through a couple of defenders. Biziak got the surprise offensive rebound deflected right to him at the free throw line and attacked. And the Capitals are up by 7 for the first time of the game.
And Sanderson here, they're going to have to find a way to slow down this run from the Caps. Have a good possession here. I like going inside with Ford.
Ford delivers into the corner, weaving Fletcher right back to Ford. Off of his hands and right back to Broughton. And a reminder, halftime report is on the way, brought to you by Wegmans To Go. Stay tuned for that. Get free delivery and all your favorite meals to go for a limited time at Wegmans. (24-17). Broughton up by 7. Very deliberate walk up by Hayes Carlin and the Capitals, probably playing for the final shot here.
An opportunity to milk the clock here and just have one shot as they go into half.
Back in the hands of Wright. Glance over his shoulder toward his head coach. This play probably starts with about 7 seconds left. It's in the hands of Otto. Takes the contact with the left hand that won't go. Tip try also missed. Loose ball is grabbed by Kanama. And that is the end of the first half. So 1 point Broughton lead after 1. Blows up to 7 at the break. 24-17. The Broughton Capitals at halftime defending this historic home floor. Up 7 on Sanderson.
In the truck game, greatness is defined by a relentless commitment to the customer, forged over decades, built by a team resolute in helping you achieve your greatness. Experience this award-winning lineup today. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck for 44 years straight and counting.
Now get a well-equipped 2020 F-150 with up to $10,531 in total savings, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Losing him is the hardest thing I've ever been through. But Stephen L. Lyons Funeral Home is doing so much for my family, I can't begin to put it into words. And because we pre-planned with Steve last year, we ensured that all of his wishes are being met. I don't have to worry about anything. My family can relax at this difficult time and celebrate his life.
Won't you give us a call today? We would be honored to provide you the trust, service, and compassion you rightfully deserve in your time of need. That is our promise here at the Stephen L. Lyons Funeral Home.
Halftime from Raleigh, 24-17. 7-point lead for the Broughton Capitals. You're watching the Wegmans to Go High School Hoops Halftime Report. And now it's time for the Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Riddle and Brantley is proud to present the MyRDC High School Hoops Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week. From Sanderson High School, the Riddle and Brantley Scholar Athlete of the Week is Joshua Cruz. Joshua carries a 4.4 GPA, is captain of the basketball team, president of the National Technical Honor Society, and volunteers for North Raleigh Ministries. From Broughton High School, Charlotte Fulbright. Charlotte carries a 4.59 GPA, is captain of the volleyball team, and a basketball team member. Charlotte is a member of the Service Club and has received several awards for her outstanding community service.
Riddle and Brantley is proud to be a sponsor of the Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to these All-Stars, and good luck on your eligibility for a $3,000 scholarship at the end of the season.
Riddle and Brantley. Injured in an accident? Call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts.
You know this guy? Honey.
With the most standard safety features in its class.
Nice stop, Mom.
Thanks. The all-new, fiercely reimagined Nissan Rogue. Get a low $229 per month lease on Rogue or get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 13 models.
This is the United States Coast Guard. These are our people. These are the waters we protect. This is our home. We save lives while protecting our country. We live the mission every single day. No one else does what we do.
24-17 halftime score. Broughton on top of Sanderson. You're watching the Wegmans to Go High School Hoops halftime report. Patrick Kane, Jay Sohnhalter. But let's now go to an interview that Jay did with West Shore Home's Paul Janoski earlier this week.
We're talking with our High School Hoops presenting sponsor, Paul Janoski of West Shore Home. Paul, how is West Shore Home different from working with other home improvement companies?
Hey, thanks for asking, Jay, and thanks for having us. The home improvement industry is plagued by complaints of cheap work, poor quality, unmet expectations. So we decided to reinvent home remodeling. At West Shore Home, we believe you deserve a better, safer, and easier home improvement project. So we made our process risk-free, easy design process, trusted installation, and convenient financing.
Why do you feel it's important for West Shore Home to support high school sports?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Super important. Here at West Shore Home, our #1 goal is bringing happiness to every home. We're here to support families and children in all of their home improvement projects, as well as their outside activities from the home. That's why for anyone watching this right now, we're going to give you an additional $500 off on our current sale price.
Thank you for your support of high school sports, Paul. Tell the viewers how important this offer really is.
Oh, of course. And again, thanks for having us, Jay. But yeah, this offer is absolutely huge. It's one of the biggest offers we've ever put out there. You know, again, we believe that homeowners deserve a better, safer, and easier home improvement project. And this will just make it even easier for them. That $500 off all our current sale prices.
Thank you. And it's great to have you as our High School Hoops presenting sponsor. Back to you, Patrick.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay. Thank you, Paul. Halftime continues when we return. Broughton up 7 at home, 24-17 on Sanderson.
Your family has a wide range of personalities, and so does ours. Meet the Volkswagen family of SUVs. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and lease a sophisticated and capable 2021 Tiguan S for just $209 a month.
Whatever the crime.
You never come to work thinking you're going to see something like that.
Whatever the motive.
If he couldn't have her, no one was going to have her.
Whatever it takes, answers to mysteries will be revealed.
The question is, who's going to benefit by these two deaths?
I remember falling to the floor. He was finally caught.
On Dateline.
Weekdays at 11 on MyRDC 28.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There's something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
Your family has a wide range of personalities, and so does ours. Meet the Volkswagen family of SUVs. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 60 months on 2020 Atlas Cross Sport models.
Wegmans to Go halftime report continues from Broughton. Capitals up 7 on Sanderson, 24-17. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter, and Jay will take a look at some of the first half highlights. As a bit of a sluggish start for each of these squads, but one of the guys we expected to put his imprint on this one is Evan Abilens, and he certainly did that in the first half.
Yeah, he's done a nice job attacking the hoop, and I think both sides have really played very hard. They've been aggressive. They've really seen both teams really scrap after those loose balls and try to push the pace, which is something I'm surprised to see Sanderson really try to push the tempo as much as they did, because they really excel in the half-court offense. Now Broughton, though, started to heat up from the outside, hitting some of these three-point shots. That opened up the lane to drive in and attack.
We've seen Abilens with 9 in the first half. Will Otto has been impressive with both hands. And that take by Malcolm Wright, and here is Otto. Got into the lane, switching hands, and finishing there with the left to lead the Capitals to a 7-point lead at halftime.
Well, on both sides, I think the winner is going to be who can limit their turnovers and then who can just be more efficient from their outside shots in the second half. Both teams, I think, are really going to start to get in a rhythm here in the second.
All right, a win for the Capitals. They're back at 500 in the Cap 7. Sanderson trying to get to 2-1 in league play. Second half from the City of Oaks when we return.
I lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks.
I lost 31 pounds in 6 weeks.
In just 3 sessions, I lost 126 pounds.
I lost 25 pounds in 6 weeks thanks to Apex Weight Loss.
I feel great. I feel that I walk taller. It is life-changing.
After having a baby, I really struggled to lose the baby weight, and thanks to Apex Weight Loss, I lost the weight and was able to keep it off.
Come see us at our new location, 3012 Village Marketplace, inside Park West Village in Morrisville.
On the inside, a Honda SUV is sophisticated, technologically advanced, and comfortable. But on the outside, a Honda SUV is rugged, capable, and ready to take on anything. With an intelligent traction management and 3 all-terrain driving modes at the push of a button, the competition doesn't have that. Inside, outside. For the first time ever, get our best 0% financing on every new Honda SUV, like 0% financing on the Passport or Pilot. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
My RDC Spotlight on Judge Mathis with my story.
I go into prisons and speak with young men all the time. I speak with them about how they can turn their lives around. And I tell them it takes courage. It takes courage to go back to school, to get a degree, and get a job they can be proud of. Then they're using their courage to help their community rather than harm it.
One of the many people on My RDC giving us their My Story.
Ready to begin the third quarter. Broughton and Sanderson. 7-point lead for the Capitals, 24-17. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sohnhalter. As we get underway in the third quarter, Broughton in the home Grays and Sanderson in the traveling Reds. And as the changing landscape of high school basketball across the state of North Carolina, probably all across the country, neither one of these teams had a locker room to head to for a halftime. As that jumper is missed in lane by Beziak. So they actually stayed on the court. Coaches surrounded them, and they kind of went through their first half recap and second half strategy and changes while on the sidelines. As a matter of fact, we're probably broadcasting from one of the locker rooms they normally would have been returning to.
Yeah, nice shot by Smedes York right there, getting the ball inside. Really a talented post shooter right there, showing off his athleticism.
First points for Smedes, a 6'7" senior. So the Broughton Capitals now have a 9-point lead, 26-17. And if you're the Spartans here, you don't want to get out of touch here early in this third quarter. And some big post moves on the inside, but a shuffle by Nolan Ford. A turnover on Sanderson.
And that's a fun battle to watch down low with Ford and York down there battling. Good defensive pressure by York forcing Ford into the travel. And you know, Patrick, you talked about the halftime break and things being different. You know, usually coaches let their voices be heard, but here at the halftime break, they can't be too loud because you don't want the opposing coaching staff to hear you.
Callum Wright into the corner. And Ford trying to hang on to that rebound. It's tough to get out of his hands when he puts the clamps on. Here come the Spartans. Schaefer talking about he's gotten a lot of Zoom time and screen time with his players over the course of the last few months. As he's been home-based. This time jumper is missed by Adelins. But a second crack here for Fletcher and the Spartans. Fletcher creating, shovels a pass in front. Shot blocked away by Broughton. And quickly, Otto never stopped end-to-end. Will Otto in the first double-digit lead of the night for Broughton.
Well, Sanderson's got to get back on defense. You've got to stop the ball, and Otto just recognized there wasn't a defender coming over to him, so he took it all the way.
28-17 into the lane, Adelins, and he got hammered by Smedes York. And if that last name and heck, even the first name rings familiar for people watching in the Triangle, York is part of the famous York family here in the Triangle. His grandfather, the former mayor of Raleigh, and the York family name goes all the way back to the 1910s when York Properties and Business was established. A very well-respected company in the Triangle for over a century. 28-17 Broughton. Adelins at the free throw line, presented by U.S. Coast Guard. Go CoastGuard.com.
Well, it's going to be important for Sanders to start biting into this lead. You know, both sides had trouble scoring the basketball, and Sanderson getting to the line, getting some easy point opportunities are going to be really important to continue to try get to the free throw line.
It's Jack McConnell misfiring on a three. They want Fletcher the rebound. He'll bring it up for the Spartans. Looking for a bit of a spark. He has loved to attack so far tonight. Ablins all the way room on the baseline. Triggers it out. Kanama shut off. And a good job recovering by the Broughton defense.
And the help defense came over and didn't allow easy passing lane for Abilene, and good job coming over to help and kind of recover.
Hanna yet to get untracked. He's usually a danger from behind the three-point line. Got the mid-range there. Matt Hanna the senior with his second field goal.
We need Hanna to heat up, kind of be that second scoring option behind Abilene.
Deflected pass still into the hands of York. Tipped up off the glass. It's loose. And here come the Spartans with some numbers. Little hesitation by Fletcher. Got to the rim and couldn't finish.
Braun has numbers.
And now it's Otto. Spotted up from distance. And there's Otto's second three of the contest. That three is brought to you by West Shore Home. Convert your old bathtub into a modern and spacious walk-in shower in just one day. 10-point lead for the Capitals, 31-21. White just missed on the steal attempt, and here's Ford on the inside. And that is a badly needed bucket for Sanderson, 0-4.
And the drive-in dish, breaking down the defense and finding the open man.
And Hanna overplays it, causes a turnover near midcourt. And a foul on Broughton. Good work by Hanna after his bucket, then jumping out as part of the trap near midcourt.
Just come out here after the halftime break, being very aggressive. Seeing here the defensive end fighting for that loose ball. You get fouled, a lot of contact. Both teams playing so hard tonight.
Foul charge against Jack McConnell. Ford is off the floor, and there's Dason Fenneman, the junior, back on the floor. And a look at Matt Hanna. 31-23. Capitals up by 8. Nearing the midway mark of this third quarter. Fletcher faked the dribble handoff, slides in a bounce pass in the lane, and Fenneman nearly threw it away, but right to Hanna, and he knocks down a three. And Sanderson climbing out of the hole and right back in it within 5.
Yeah, starting to heat up, the confidence growing, and Hanna, see how smooth that outside shot is.
Another West Shore home three-pointer. 31-26. Broughton on top by 5. Turnover, Broughton leaning in, getting the rim. The tip dunk try won't go from Kanama. And Broughton comes out of there with it. The energy level and really the confidence level beginning to peak for the Spartans here midway through this third.
Well, in Broughton here, they've had this large lead, and now a couple mistakes, and Sanderson coming back in here. We'll see how they respond. They've got to get something going here in the half-court offense.
And Otto's on the other side of the floor. We get a foul on the floor against the senior Fletcher. But an inspired opening 5 minutes of this third quarter for the Sanderson Spartans. 3:19 left in the third quarter. They've whittled down an 11-point deficit to 5. 31-26. Broughton.
What does CVS stand for?
Condoms, Viagra, and snacks.
Funny you should ask.
Weeknights starting at 10 on MyRDC 28.
This is a show where every word counts.
Wild dog.
Weeknights at 11 on MyRDC 28. 3 judges, 3 opinions.
Get them out of my courtroom.
3 personalities.
Not everybody's the 3 of us.
Hot Bench. Weeknights at 7 on MyRDC 28.
I'm an apple tree kid.
I was an apple tree kid. Now I'm an apple tree parent.
At Apple Tree Daycare, we've kept our commitment as a leading child care provider and learning community since 1990.
Our 5-star facilities provide safe and educational spaces for your child. We keep germs away with Zono sanitation stations, and our degreed teachers deliver Life Cubby daily reports to parents. We offer track in, track out, summer camp, and pre-K classes.
4 5-star locations serving Southeast Raleigh for 30 years.
Patrick Swayze.
Dirty Dancing.
I'm going to set the opening bid. Party. Confetti.
Store Bullseye.
Target. This is a show where every word counts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wild dog.
Weeknights at 11 on MyRDC 28.
(31-26), Broughton leading Sanderson by 5. Patrick Davis and Jay Sohnhalter back at Broughton High School. It's been a really nice run here in this third quarter for the Sanderson Spartans, and embodying really the grittiness, the grindiness of their head coach, Brian Schaefer. We knew that Abilene was going to need some help, and he's gotten from Hannah in this third quarter.
Yeah, he's come out here firing away, and this team really has gained the momentum, and a couple injuries, short bench, not a lot of depth, really playing hard. And you knew this game was going to be a battle. Both teams very evenly matched, so competitive, and such an important in-conference game.
I love the story that Brian Schaefer told us earlier today about how he got into coaching. Grew up in New York, went to college in Rochester, and knew he wanted to coach high school basketball. His hand out there to Beziak to lay it in. But when he was wrapping up his last year of student teaching, when he was a college student, he was at Monroe High School teaching, and really just kind of went into the basketball coach's office and said, "I'd like to help you. Do you have a spot for me?" As the jumper, it's a 3 knocked down by Lamar Lyons, a 3-pointer presented by West Shore Home. And that's really how the career began. And then he knew that if he wanted to, so we get a timeout taken by Broughton, if he wanted to advance to the next levels, he had some friends down here in North Carolina. That's what attracted him down to the Tar Heel State, and hooked up as an assistant coach at Green Hope, then as an assistant coach at Athens Drive, then had the opportunity here to become the head coach for Sanderson. And he knows he doesn't yet have a great deal of name currency in the area, but when you talk to him and listen to him, he's so passionate about this game of basketball, wants to teach, wants to succeed, and really feels like this Sanderson program is a very good fit for him.
Well, and when he was talking with us, the first thing I thought about is this is a really good lesson to follow your passion and what you want to do, and when you find out what you want to do, to outwork everybody. And that's what he said to us. He said, hey, listen, I've got to outwork everybody to create my own opportunities. And you kind of see him, moving down here and moving to a couple different schools. He didn't know anybody. They didn't know him, and he had to prove himself. And whether it's in basketball or any other part of life, work ethic and outworking everybody, and having a passion about something is what's going to create success.
And he inherited a nice bit of talent last year in his first year for Sanderson. Took them to the playoffs. It was their first winning season in a decade last year. They went 15-11 as we get a turnover charge against Sanderson. And so if we know anything about Brian Schaefer and the group that he has this year, they won't quit. They won't give up. 11 points down the road, no problem. They up their game, up their energy and effort. And they're within 4, and a chance here on offense to slice even more into it. And now fakes, got close to the rim and got fouled.
Well, I think a thing with his squad that he really appreciates is the trust that he has on them. A great group. He talked about, all these guys, their commitment to getting better and how much they've improved, and out on the floor, so many senior leaders that help lead their team. So it's a situation where when you have a coach that trusts your players, especially your seniors, it's really like you have an extra coach out on the floor.
So Victor Canam at the free throw line, the U.S. Coast Guard free throw line, presented by the U.S. Coast Guard. GoCoastGuard.com. 33-29, the Broughton lead. 2:08 left in the third quarter as Jackson McNamara returns for Broughton. Couple of subs on the floor for the Capitals. 0 for 2 from the line, Kanama. 2 minutes left, third quarter. To take the block, but a body foul on Kanama of Sanderson.
Wright's been putting so much pressure on the defense. You see him being so aggressive. Look at him driving into the lane. Kanama coming over to help defense, just too much body. Nice job again by Wright, though, being physical.
Well, he was a big contributor last year in his only season at Ravenscroft as he drops in the first of a couple of free throws, presented by the U.S. Coast Guard. GoCoastGuard.com. Couple of free throws made. And it's back now to a 6-point lead. We want to thank United Rentals for powering tonight's high school hoops basketball game. United Rentals, you're building the future. We're here to help. spinning on the inside. And Canano lost the handle. Was not fouled. A nifty dribbling work by McCallum Wright to maintain possession. And here's Otto in the open floor. Got around the defender Avalins and got fouled across the arm.
It was Otto with the quickness. It's really a 2-on-2 situation. See as he drives in there, hooked around Avalins. Then again, forced the contact going to the line.
So minute 36 left, third quarter. Broughton led at the break by 7, extended to as many as 11 early in this third before Sanderson got back in contention. Otto rolls in the first of 2 free throws at the U.S. Coast Guard free throw line. GoCoastGuard.com. So Broughton on the way next. Millbrook, Southeast Raleigh, and then a second date with Sanderson on February the 12th. Minute 30 remaining, third quarter. Fletcher underneath and can't finish on the reverse, but fouled. And a reminder, the Scholar Athlete brought to you by Riddle and Brantley. Injured in a car accident? If so, call Riddle and Brantley when justice counts.
Well, you've seen both sides really get comfortable now, driving in and putting pressure on the defenders. It was a nice take going into the lane.
And the first of 2 missed by Fletcher. 1:27 left, third quarter. If there's been any upshot for Brian Schaefer in his second year as the head coach here for Sanderson of being virtual and working out of the home, just had a baby daughter less than a year ago, so he has spent a lot of quality time with his 1-year-old daughter Emerson. Congratulations to he and his wife.
Yeah, he talked about never being at home because he's always at practice, and now able to spend more time with the family.
McCallum Wright, heavy finish, a little bit long, and the rebound to Sanderson. And Hannah and the Spartans looking for a spark there, but on the delivery of the pass, it was on the sideline, and Sanderson turns over with a little more than a minute left in the third.
And, you know, Patrick, we talked about the trust from the coaching staff and their players. I think it speaks to volumes. They had to trust that these guys are going to work out when they couldn't be together at the schools and have their workouts. As a team, they had to trust that they're going to put in the work and get ready in the offseason. You know, it's paid off because the season here delayed till January, but you can see both teams in great condition, playing hard, and showing off the talents.
Final minute, third quarter. Broughton back up by 7. Otto leaning in and again finishes with that left hand. Skilled, under control, and can finish with both hands. And now we get a stoppage in play, and one of our officials heads over to the scorer's desk. So a 39-30 Broughton lead. Otto can absorb some contact and still finish. It's been an impressive night for him.
It's so tough when you get hit to still be able to focus and make the shot. He's been doing it all night.
And again, he was probably the best player on this Broughton team last year as a true freshman. The lead is 9. Shot is missed. The rebound ripped out of there by McNamara. One hands it ahead to McConnell. And this is Otto out of the corner. And he's fouled on the three-point attempt out of the corner.
Zabelin's coming over. Not want to foul a three-point shooter. Just a strong closeout. Too much momentum. And he went at the body of Otto. We'll see here. This pass, wide open shot, and it was just the momentum. Instead of kind of going sideways there, he went about a 45-degree angle to the body of Otto.
Well, they call that an on-the-floor foul, so no free throws coming up, but the possession remains with Broughton. Approaching 20 seconds left. Otto working against Lyons. Tries for the blow-by, the stop and start. And Otto finally gives it up. But look for the return to his hands with about 9 seconds left. Otto gets the screen, the kick out. This is a 3, and it's good at the horn of this third quarter. Hayes Carlin, first points of the game and the biggest lead of the night for the Broughton Capitals. We are done with 3 in Raleigh. Broughton by 12, 42-30 on this last second 3 from the sophomore Hayes Carlin.
That's a mountain laughing at you. So prepared in a Kia Sportage and turn that laugh into a whimper. Right now, get 0% APR for 75 months on the purchase of a new 2021 Sportage.
Research shows people remember commercials with nostalgia. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's one that'll really take you back.
Wow!
What'd you get, Ryan?
It's customized home insurance from Liberty Mutual.
What does it do, bud?
It customizes our home insurance so we only pay for what we need.
And what did you get, Mike?
I got a bike.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For homicide detectives, the first 48 hours is everything.
We're investigating murder.
Once that line is breached without a lead,
Who pulled the trigger?
the odds of solving a case are cut in half.
911, what is your emergency?
I just saw someone get shot.
Try to make some sense out of this. The victim's handgun. I've been awake 36 hours, and it's absolutely worth it to bring this case to a close.
Weekdays at 10. That's a mountain laughing at you. So come prepared in a Kia Sportage and turn that laugh into a whimper. Right now, lease the 2021 Sportage LX for $179 a month.
Ready to begin the fourth quarter. Broughton up by 12 on Sanderson, 42-30. As WestgateCars.com High School Hoops, presented by West Shore Home, debuts tonight inside the Cap 7. Broughton led by 7 at intermission. Extended it early in third to 11 before Sanderson rallied back to within 4. And then a late third quarter run culminated by a three-pointer from Hayes Carlin has bumped it now to 12. So possessions are going to be crucial here for Sanderson. A little bit of a haphazard fourth quarter opening possession for the Spartans.
So they're going to have to maximize their opportunities. Broughton, their defense has been outstanding all night long.
This is Kaywan Fletcher. And nothing happening in the first 30 seconds of this opening possession. Fletcher, the dribble drive around 3 defenders and got fouled.
Well, and obviously you don't want the foul if you're Broughton. You did a nice job on the ball defense, wasting time, forcing Sanderson to use the clock. We'll see here, too much contact, easy call. The drive went in to the paint. And again, I think Sanderson, that's going to be their recipe. They've got to continue to attack. If you get a help defender to come over, then you dish it out to your outside shooters, but they've had success attacking the rim.
And they just have not shot free throws well so far tonight. So one more coming for Fletcher at the Anchor Auto Outlet free throw line. Sanderson trailing by 11 as Fletcher makes 1 of 2. We'll talk about Broughton, what Clarence Coleman has brought to the scene. He's been with his Broughton program for a long time. That's replaced the legendary head coach Jeff Farrell after his 22-year run here. A spin move by Otto, a nice finish again, mid-range from Otto. Seen a variety of moves from Otto.
When he gets into the paint, it's so tough because he can use his right or his left hand. Lethal from the outside.
Avalanche a quick release 3, missed it, and a reach against Will Otto on that rebound by Kanama.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Broughton slows down the pace or if they continue to push the tempo with a big lead. And here, about midway through the fourth quarter, they're in the driver's seat. And Sanderson, again, it's going to be important for them to hit their free throws.
A conversation between Beziak and Kanama. Referee's getting things under control. A little more than a minute gone by, fourth quarter. Avalanche draws 2, tried to dump down, volleyball back to him. And then that defense has been extended here by Broughton, but they've played the pass lanes, gotten a lot of deflections, and just denied the dribble penetration that we saw work pretty effectively in the first few minutes of this contest.
Yeah, they've slowed down. They really played great on-the-ball defense, and everything for Sanderson has been tough. We see here another turnover.
Live ball turnover. McNamara whips it all the way across. Otto, the shot blocked away, though, by Sanderson. Beautiful block by Kanama. And here come the Spartans. Hannah trying to get the Capitals on their heels. Finding a room, delivery to Fletcher out of the corner, and Fletcher knocked down the 3.
Well, that's a good look, though, and Hannah driving the baseline, create the open shot opportunity.
Wright delivers toward the corner and threw it away. Seen that happen a couple of times. 44-31 Broughton. Let's go back to that block shot a moment ago here, Jay. Looks like a pretty clean run out here.
Bama with the hustle coming back. You see him skying for the block. So athletic, but for a big guy there coming back. And that's what you want to coach. That's what you want to see is him hustling and running around the floor.
And that is within the range of Hannah, but misfires. And again, in transition, spinning Otto. A lot of contact, and a late whistle finally blown.
Kadama coming back down there, sprinting full speed, looking for another block opportunity. You see number 34 here coming into the screen. He's right there. Otto, though, getting the contact before he could try to block that shot.
Yeah, Victor Kadama, 6'5" senior, just does not give up on a play. 44-31 Broughton, and the Capitals at the free throw line with Will Otto. Again, just the sophomore. Anchor Otto outlet free throw line. 5:36 left in this fourth quarter. Lead is now 13 for Broughton. We talked about Clarence Coleman and his son, who played here at Broughton, then got through a tryout of 75 players when he went to Chapel Hill at UNC, made the JV team, which made his father, his mother, his twin sisters, and other family members very proud, especially after a couple of really challenging moments in his career. But Justin overcame 3 broken vertebrae on a block dunk attempt when he was a sophomore in high school basketball, then was involved in a car versus motorcycle accident that claimed to life, and then went on to UNC. And not only did he make the JV, he then was a walk-on to Roy Williams Tar Heels. Got in a game or two as a junior, then before his senior year was awarded a scholarship, a full scholarship for his senior year at UNC, and now Justin, almost full circle, has come back. He just moved out of the house, his dad said today, but he's come full circle. He's now on his father's staff here at Broughton.
Man, that's going to be special memories forever, playing at North Carolina and here coming back to Broughton, where you were here, and it probably doesn't seem like that long ago. You're coming back to your roots, and you can kind of remember wearing those shoes and that jersey just a short time ago, and what you've learned just from growing up and then playing at UNC, coming back, and they've been able to help out the kids.
And by far the sharpest dressed person on the sidelines tonight, continuing the tradition from Chapel Hill. A couple of free throws are made. 5:16 left in this fourth quarter. Broughton is now in firm control of this one as we get a timeout taken. 5:16 to play, fourth quarter. Broughton up by 13 on Sanderson.
You never know what's around the corner. That's why Ford is built for what's next. Rough terrain, we can help tackle it. A lot going on around you, we can help you focus. Driver in your blind spot, we can help you spot them. And to help you prepare for what's next, your Carolina Ford dealers are offering great deals on America's best-selling brand. Now get a 2020 Escape with 0 for 60, or get a 2020 Explorer with 0 for 72. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
America's Court with Judge Ross.
All rise.
You want him to pay $628?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off.
Daytime Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
Pay her her money. Pay it now.
Judge Ross is back with all new cases.
Prove your case.
Before I broke out the window.
Stop.
And the same attitude.
I'm confused. Unconfuse me.
America's Court with Judge Ross.
Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
New episodes coming this fall.
Weekend starting September 26th. To get the true word on the street, you've got to speak the language.
It's time to put the culture back in pop culture.
Central Ave, a modern deep dive into entertainment that drives to the heart of the story. Fresh takes and authentic voices, bringing you the right show for right now.
Welcome to Central Ave.
Sundays at 6 on MyRDC.
Broughton on top of Sanderson, 46-33. And let's take a look at tonight's Westgate Kia of Wake Forest play of the game. WestgateCars.com will make you a believer for life. And Jay, the block by Smedes. York leads to the run out by Will Otto, who has had another outstanding contest for Broughton.
Now, defensive pressure leading to offense, and York Really then controlling the paint area, and then Otto sprinting out and doing what he does best, pushing the pace and getting an easy two.
Well, it's kind of the point of no return now for the Sanderson Spartans. 13 down on the road. And they come out with a little bit of full court pressure for the first time, trying to flip the Capitals over a couple of times.
They're going to have to get some turnovers. I mean, at this point in the ball game with a 13-point deficit, having trouble scoring the basketball, that's what you got to do. You see Broughton throwing the ball out of bounds. Sanderson just has to maintain their composure here, get those turnovers, and make the most of each offensive opportunity to maximize it. And I think also, too, Patrick, I've seen them drive in. They need to start shooting some threes, too, to get back in this game.
Into the lane, Kanema kicks it back to the outside, and there's an open three, one of the rare ones we've seen tonight from Sanderson. That one from Abilene. And it's back to a 10-point contest, 46-36. And a timeout is taken by Broughton. So maybe just to talk about the extended pressure by Sanderson, not getting out of control, just making the right decisions down the stretch. Again, we talked about, Broughton last year going 2-22. That was in the 2020 season. That's 7 years after they played for the state championship. So it was a pretty steep fall last year, but they played a lot of close games. And this is one of those moments where I think Clarence Coleman wants to remind his team, poise, control, clock and game management to close this one out here tonight.
Well, this team really so much improved from last season, and with those lessons they learned last year, not wanting that taste in your mouth. Big win on Wednesday night against Cardinal Gibbons. Here you're in the driver's seat. But how are you going to close out this ball game? Not only do you want to win, you want to handle the pressure of Sanderson.
He really has loved so far the attitude, the effort from his team. Certainly was a learning experience last year with the coaching change. Again, with the offense and defensive, not major changes, but enough to maybe just alter where the team was and the comfort level. But they feel like they have the pieces in place this year to take a couple of serious steps forward compared to where they were last year.
Well, I really like the personnel on this team. You've got quick guards. You've got big guys down low in the paint with Hicks and York. And then they can kind of play any different style. Right now they've got a smaller lineup, but we've seen them play big with two bigs in the ball game as well. The ball handlers out front. I know Coach Coleman really trusts his guys.
This is Otto. A little bit flat on that three. Nice rebound on the strong side by Fletcher. Sanderson in a hurry. And this is Abilene. Just made a three a moment ago. Offensive rebound, Kanema. The kick back outside. Abilene's with defenders flanking him right and left. Forced the three-point attempt and air ball.
And the Capitals really attacking that three-point line, closing out hard. Try to limit shot attempt by Abilene's. And that's a shot usually he knocks out. One of the best shooters in the state, averaging 25 points per game coming into tonight's ballgame.
Now full court pressure again applied by Brian Schaefer's Spartans. He's trying to get Broughton a bit out of its tempo, out of its comfort zone. High ball pressure really everywhere on the floor for Sanderson. There's the reach in and the steal by Abilene. And Abilene's going against three defenders and finally hit from behind. It looks like Hayes Carlin, the guilty party. Well, the pressure's been affected by Sanderson. 3:58 left, fourth quarter, down by 10, and back to the free throw line.
For Broughton, you know there's going to be that pressure, so how do you beat it? Either by picks, pick and roll, or back cuts. And Sanderson overplaying the steal coming by Abilene's. Here, still plenty of time for Sanderson, but again, it's about making the most of your opportunities on the offensive end and trying to turn Broughton over again here and create more turnovers.
Free throw, though, missed. We've seen that a bevy of times tonight for the Spartans. Deficit remains at 10. Fletcher just took it right away. And another turnover forced by Sanderson. But how quick was the right hand of Fletcher right there? Fourth foul charge against Carlin. So again, the pressure has done its duty. But Sanderson just simply needs to convert at the other end as we get a timeout on the floor with 3:48 left in the fourth. Broughton by 10, but Sanderson showing some life.
Yeah, they're hanging in there, and they're taking over on the defensive end. Fletcher moving his feet, communicating well out on the floor, getting help defense. There was with his reach to get that turnover. And Sanderson, Coach Schaefer there, an opportunity here, 3:48, kind of reassess everything, set up your defense. Again, make your most of your opportunities on the offensive end.
And again for Sanderson and Brian Schaefer, I mean, he really understands the game. He's certainly a student of the game of basketball, as he's still not all that entirely well known down here in North Carolina. But again, he's not even playing with a full deck of cards on his team. You're missing a couple of starters with Crutchfield out, Cruz, your senior captain, still out. So he knew coming into this game they were shorthanded anyway, yet picked the right moment to break out the pressure, and it's worked here.
Well, and for both teams, this is going to be a different year as far as the schedule goes. Some weeks you're going to have 3 games in a week coming off a Wednesday night game for both squads. How are you going to respond with this quick turnaround, especially with depth issues for Sanderson? This is an important closeout here of the game, and these guys have to go back to their conditioning to make sure they finish out strong.
Schaefer certainly lamenting a lot of points left at the foul line tonight. But still time for the Spartans. And Fletcher, the senior, is right back at the free throw line for Sanderson. And that is a must. Anchor auto outlet free throw line. Fletcher cuts it at 9. Eight-point deficit, and now pressure again by Sanderson. 46-38. This pressure has not been kind to the Capitals over the last couple of minutes.
For Broughton here, it'll be interesting to see if they kind of milk the clock and use it up, or if they stay aggressive and try to attack and continue to put pressure on the defense.
And mostly all upperclassmen on the floor this time. That one is missed. Tip try a little bit short from Beziak, but it deflects right to McCallum Wright. The third opportunity for the Capitals, +8.
Huge offensive board.
Cross the lane, Beziak. Kick to right, penetrates. Finger roll won't go. He got it back, and a 4th opportunity of that possession. They finally cashed in with McCallum Wright.
Not only did they use the clock, they got the 2 points in Wright. So feisty, using that quickness, toughness, displays out on the football field.
And Hannah junks one up from about 28 feet. Offensive rebound, though, by Sanderson. Spinning to the inside. That'll go, and a foul. Evan Abelins.
So gritty. You see him with his outside shot now. Physical with the drive, little spin move, and the contact. Needed that bucket.
So Evan Abelins, who, when we talked with Brian Schaefer earlier today, said he's really out of my mold. I mean, he's a grinder like I am. He's an excellent cross-country runner as well for Sanderson. I mean, he's the heart, he's the soul of this Sanderson team. And you almost felt like that last defensive possession with 4 cracks to Broughton would be a backbreaker. Not as far as Abelins is concerned. He gets the and 1, cuts it back to 7.
Yeah, he's a fighter, and he leads by example. 4.4 GPA, and Coach Schaefer just couldn't talk enough about him.
And here's the pressure again applied by Sanderson. And a timeout has been called with 2:52 left in the 4th. 48-41, Broughton by 7.
30-second timeout.
And again, Clarence Coleman in his second year with the Capitals as the head coach calls a timeout. And like the judicious use of his timeouts, called a timeout even after a made bucket. Talking to his team about how to better handle the pressure he's seen from Sanderson. So he's done a good job to try and snuff out little mini runs or momentum surges towards Sanderson.
Really focusing on situational basketball, and these teams haven't had a lot of practice time, so they haven't had a lot of opportunities to go over these situations. Broughton, though, trying to close out this game, and they have to protect the basketball. That's going to be the key. When you figure at some point, if they can protect it and use this clock, when is Sanderson going to have to start fouling?
This will be a dead ball throw-in for McCallum Wright, and Broughton, he will be undefended. .252 left, 4th quarter. Biggest lead was 12. They get it in the hands of Will Otto. And the Sanderson defense recovering. McNamara. Back out to McCallum Wright.
Broughton spreading the floor. Sanderson's going to have to come over and trap. Try to do something, create some havoc.
McNamara with the lane to the hole, blocked from behind by Abelins. Well done. Not wanting to commit the foul. Got all ball. But again, no shot clock in the high school game here in North Carolina, so it's going to be on the quality of shot that Broughton is able to get, or if the Sanderson defense is able to turn them over. Beziak back on the floor for Broughton. York to the bench. And Manny and Lasso will throw in for Broughton. We've seen a lot of him in this one. Tight defense by Fletcher.
Sanderson's going to have to start fouling here if they don't get a turnover. And I think at this point, okay, now you can push the pace.
And there's the turnover, and Fletcher will head to the free throw line as the defender tried to draw the offensive foul, McNamara, but he was falling over before any contact occurred.
Well, and I was just about to say Sanderson needs to start fouling, and then they got the turnover. We'll see here, again, 7-point deficit. They've got time. They just have to play at a high level.
You see that kind of flop on the pitch of the English Premier League. You might be yellow carded there if you're Jackson McNamara. Free throw knocked down by Fletcher from the Anchor Auto Outlet free throw line. Time for Sanderson to come all the way back. 2:11 left, fourth quarter. And Fletcher and the Spartans are beginning to knock down some free throws. If Fletcher knocks another one down, that'll set up the pressure.
Now you can set up the press.
There's some contact between Otto and Lyons. No whistle blown. 48-43, a 5-point lead for Broughton. And a foul on the outside charge against Lyons. Stops the clock, 2:01 left in the regulation.
Foul number 14, Lamar Lyons. That's his second.
So number 2 on Lyons. But a non-shooting affair.
Inside 2 minutes, we'll see again Sanderson. They stay patient on the defensive end, not fouling. Can they create a turnover? I think here, again, there's Abilene.
There's a strip by Abilene, and we get a reach-in foul on Broughton. And again, the Capitals just unable to handle the half-court offense against this tight man-to-man. Passes haven't been clean. They haven't taken care of the basketball. Just a reach around the backside by Abilene's. Corral it, and then the reach-in foul against McCallum Wright.
When Broughton's not attacking vertically, they're kind of moving the ball horizontally around the perimeter, and that's what's enabling Sanderson jump in those passing lanes and strip the ball out.
And Abilene knocks down the first free throw from the Anchor Auto Outlet free throw line. And now stomachs are turning on the sideline for the Capitals. A 12-point lead is down to 3. 48-45 with 1:45 left, and Sanderson smelling blood.
Well, we were just talking about fouling a couple minutes ago. Now Sanderson does not want to foul. They want to play his defense straight up and try to create a turnover, a timeout.
Another timeout taken by Clarence Coleman and the Broughton Capitals. A 12-point lead has nearly disintegrated thanks to the outstanding press defense by the Sanderson Spartans. And again, electing to break out the press when you are shorthanded has certainly worked out very well for Sanderson to this point. 12 points down. They've cut it to 3. And certainly have all the momentum on their side of the floor.
And they've got confidence, and they're growing because of their defensive effort. And with a short bench tonight, you can see the conditioning taking over. Sanderson in excellent shape, playing so hard. They've been able to kind of come back in this ball game because their defensive pressure, the communication out on the floor, see guys staying on their man, not letting Broughton really have any lanes or open opportunities to score.
Yeah, we were inside the gymnasium at Broughton High School. So many legends played their high school ball here for the Broughton Capitals. Sanderson, meanwhile, trying to etch out its own bit of legendary basketball lore. And it's not lost on Brian Schaefer. The last playoff win for Sanderson was in 2006. The first winning season in a decade last year. The head coach of the Sanderson team, when they last won their last high school postseason game, Lavelle Moat, who is now the outstanding, acclaimed collegiate coach at NC Central. Loose ball. Turnover again. Fletcher the steal. Gets around Otto and lays it in with the left. And it's a 1-point game. Sanderson has cut it from 12 to 1. And they have the Broughton Capitals all out of sorts as we near the final minutes.
Fletcher's been playing great on the ball defense and the ball handling to finish it off there for 2.
And that is an offensive foul against McCallum Wright. And Sanderson is going to get the basketball back with a chance at the lead.
Well, this is amazing. Look at the defense by Sanderson. We see giving up your body, being unselfish. A great job. And now Sanderson, they've got an opportunity here, down by 1 with all the momentum. Yeah, this has been a great comeback.
Minute left. Sanderson basketball and a timeout taken by Brian Schaefer.
The fight that his team has shown, Patrick. I mean, this has been amazing. Yeah, they look like they didn't have anything going on the offensive end. There's a little bit of run at the start of the third quarter, but things were not going their way. Midway through the fourth, they just turned up the pressure on the defensive end. Their man-to-man defense has excelled, and Broughton hasn't been able to handle it, and they've gotten easy opportunities on their fast break transition offense.
It's been turnover after turnover after turnover for Broughton, which has turned a 45-33 lead, comfortable lead with about 5.5 minutes left in regulation, to a nail-biting 48-47 edge. And Sanderson has possession of the basketball, down by 1. Inexplicable.
Broughton, they're going to have to maintain their composure, even though things haven't been going your way. You've had a lot of mistakes. You've got to focus here for the next 57 seconds. Close out this ball game, playing your best basketball. You've got a 1-point lead, but you have to forget what just happened and start to clean it up starting right now.
And now if you're Brian Schaefer, what play are you calling and when are you running? You could conceivably hold for the final shot here to win or lose, or do you take the best available shot whenever it comes here inside the final 56 seconds?
I think in their situation, you want to take the best available shot as soon as you see it. And that's Fletcher and Abelin's driving in. Can either dish it to an outside shooter or continue going into the paint to try to finish at the rim.
Well, count is on. They just beat it into the hands of Fletcher. The senior guard brings it up. They play through the high post. Kanama and Abelin's driving in. Underneath, nowhere to go. Hannah out of the corner, still plenty of time. And they will recycle out near midcourt with Fletcher with 40 seconds left.
Going through Abelin's trying to get him the ball.
Broughton 48, Sanderson 47. Fletcher the take, lost the handle and got it back. And we get a whistle, and I believe a timeout has been called. As that offensive possession was turning into a little bit of a mess for Sanderson.
Great timeout because it was not looking good. It was going downhill quick. Looked like there was going to be a possible turnover. But Schaefer over there, seeing his team needed to go over to the sideline. A good timeout call.
48-47, so whatever play was called was denied by the defense of Broughton. And good work by Fletcher to set up the second opportunity. And, you know, credit to Broughton right there. This has been a really trying last 5 minutes of game action. And they had one of their better defensive possessions of the game.
Yeah, after that win on Wednesday night against Cardinal Gibbons, again, an opportunity here to win your second ball game in a row, going to the weekend, going to next week's game with a lot of confidence. And, yeah, this game gone back and forth, and it's kind of really been Sanderson's fourth quarter, but Broughton still, the confidence you can gain from winning this game would be huge if you can pull it off.
This is a 14-3 surge to the end of the game for Sanderson, but can they get to the top of the mountain? This would be a stunning road win from where we were about midway through this fourth quarter. Adelins will throw in. Fletcher has it. And the clock runs down to 20 seconds. Kanama, the dribble handoff. Fenema drives in, banks it, no, tip won't go. Rebounded by McCallum Wright to Broughton. 13 seconds left, and there's the foul taken in the backcourt. Well, Dason Fenema had the driving effort. He wasn't at the top of my scatter report as far as who would have the ball in his hands for the final shot to trying to grab the lead, but it was in his hands here, curling around a double screen, and just could not get the bank shot to go.
It was the box out by York on the backside. He kind of tipped it to right. and that was huge on the backside rebound to regain possession.
Now Otto at the line. This is far from over. He will get the bonus. The lead is now 2. With 11 seconds left, it's 49-47. And one more free throw coming from the Anchor Auto Outlet free throw line.
I think here, whether it's a make or a miss, you want to put the ball in Abelin's hands and let him get this final shot for the Spartans.
Otto gets the roll. 3-point game. And one last timeout taken with 11 seconds left. Broughton 50, Sanderson 47. And now let's talk about a couple of things here, Jay. First off, for that man, Brian Schaefer, what kind of play are you running? Where will the ball screens come from to free up either Abelin's or Hannah, your top 3-point shooter?
Well, I think you want to see Fletcher drive in. He's your quickest player. Let him drive in and then force an extra defender to come over, and then you can dish it out to Hannah or over to Abelin's. But he's the guy you want the ball to be in his hand. I think you need a big guy to come up, set the pick, but then dish out to the shooters. Now, if you're Broughton, you don't mind giving up 2 here. You just do not want to give up the 3, and you do not want to foul.
Well, that was going to be the other question. How do you defend? This will be the length of the floor brought up for Sanderson. Are you going to put a couple of players in the backcourt to try and slow them down? And do you consider taking a foul before any shot attempt to basically erase the 3-point as an option to tie things up?
Well, I'm a big believer in it. Foul, put them to the free throw line. And because if you don't, then you're going to give them an opportunity to tie the ball game here. So I would foul in this situation.
Now let's see what's going on in the head of Clarence Coleman. What did he tell his defense to do? Abelin's will throw in for Sanderson. He is allowed to run the baseline. And with 11 seconds left, plenty of time to get it up the floor. 50-47, Broughton by 3. And number 21 on the left side of the screen, Hannah, is the other top 3-point shooter. And the defense will back off for the Capitals. Fletcher with 5 seconds. With 3 seconds, Fletcher in the corner, gets it off. It's blocked by McCallum Wright. And the Broughton Capitals survive a late game push by Sanderson. And Broughton defeats the Sanderson Spartans 50-47.
Well, what a defensive stand right there with the on-the-ball defense, not letting Fletcher go anywhere. And so tough for Broughton. Things were not going their way in the fourth quarter. Look at the pressure. Nowhere to go. And then here on the shot, going straight up, clean block, regaining possession, ball game, win for the Capitals.
And that was a block at the horn by the transfer in from Ravenscroft. McCallum Wright, just a sophomore, all ball, blocks what would have been a game tying 3-point attempt. Broughton 50, Sanderson 47. We're back to Broughton High School with the trophy presentation when we return.
Biggest comedy stars.
If an adult is approached by a mountain lion, they should do what?
Trip the person they're with and run.
Wall-to-wall laughs.
Speedo's swimwear was originally invented to reduce what?
My self-esteem.
It's the comedy game show.
The heaviest element found in nature is what?
Was looking pretty good at 2 a.m.
Funny you should ask.
On the inside, a Honda SUV is versatile, technologically advanced, and comfortable. But on the outside, Honda is a capable all-wheel drive vehicle ready for any adventure. Plus, Honda sensing safety features like road departure mitigation. Subaru Crosstrek doesn't have that. Inside, outside. For the first time ever, take advantage of our best ever APR with 0% financing on every new Honda SUV. Like 0% financing on the new CR-V, which costs less than the RAV4. See your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
She's savvy.
You're responsible for it.
She's sincere.
You should just be doing the right thing.
And she's always supreme.
You're going out of here.
Judge Karen brings humor and compassion into her courtroom. And when that gavel comes down,
good luck to you both.
People know it.
I'm going to make sure justice happens.
Yes, I know.
Always fair, always bright.
You should have known better than this.
Don't miss Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
Weekdays at 12 on MyRDC 28.
This is the United States Coast Guard. These are our people. These are the waters we protect. This is our home. We save lives while protecting our country. We live the mission every single day. No one else does what we do.
Back to Broughton High School, where the Broughton Capitals withstand a desperate rally by Sanderson. A 12-point fourth quarter lead, whittled all the way to 1. And Broughton comes out with a 50-47 win over Sanderson. Patrick Keenis, Jay Sonhalter down on the floor, and he will present the high school hoops trophy to the winning head coach, Clarence Coleman. Holds it high. We normally have a celebration, but in the COVID-19 era, unable to have the big celebration on the floor. But congratulations to Clarence Coleman and the Broughton Capitals as they pick off their second straight win in Cap 7 play and get to 2-2 in league action. So congratulations to the Broughton Capitals, the high school hoops trophy winning presentation on the floor. Final score, Broughton 50, Sanderson 47. All of us would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful folks at Westgate Kia and Westgate Dodge Ram of Wake Forest who make all of these games possible for you viewers at home. We'd also like to thank our other great supporters for their contributions to high school hoops on My RDC 28, West Shore Home, Wegmans To Go, U.S. Coast Guard, Anchor Auto Outlet, and Riddle and Brantley. And we'd especially like to thank tonight's participating high schools at Broughton and Sanderson, their administrators, for their continued support. Join us next week on My RDC when the Apex Friendship girls basketball team takes on the Garner Trojans. For Patrick Keenis and our entire crew, thank you for watching. Congratulations to the Broughton Capitals, 50-47 winners over the Sanderson Spartans. So long from Raleigh.